Do you like to take risks, or would you rather be certain of a positive outcome before finally deciding on some things? Hi, I am Paul Corotan from Ang Lingkod ng Panginoon and Holy Trinity Community in Davao, and welcome to Pathways of Hope. Our gospel today is from Matthew chapter 25, verses 14 to 30. This is a parable in which a master, before going on a journey, called his servants and entrusted them his wealth. To one he gave 5 bags of gold, to another 2 bags, and to another 1 bag, each according to their ability. The man who had received 5 bags of gold went at once and put his money to work and gained 5 bags more. So also the one with 2 bags of gold gained 2 more. But the man who had received 1 bag went off, dug a hole in the ground, and hid his master's money. Upon the master's return after his journey, he settled the account with his servants. When the master found out that the servants who received 5 and 2 bags of gold were able to double those bags, he commended them for their goodness and faithfulness, and invited them to partake of his happiness. However, to the servant who received 1 bag of gold and was not able to return it with interest, he commanded that the bag of gold be taken away from him and given to the servant who had 10 bags. Let us look at the main characters of this parable, the servants and the master. To distinguish these servants, we have some 2 points, or we can actually observe. We have the servants who are full of awareness. These are the 2 servants who were able to double the wealth that the master had entrusted to them. They actually understood what the master wanted them to achieve and made it possible by working and acting on it. The second one is we have a servant who is afraid. This servant, like the other two, is actually also full of awareness. He actually knows that their master is a hard or demanding man. However, fear consumed that awareness, which led him to limit what he could think of, and instead settled on the bare minimum, burying the bag of gold until his master's return. And we also have the master. This master is full of trust and never afraid of taking risks. He knows what his servants can do. That is why he entrusted them with his wealth according to their abilities. This master is like Jesus Christ. He trusts us, his people. For me, he's actually the biggest and greatest investor in this world. What he had invested in is not just a bag of gold. He invested time for us, a time to share the words of the Father so that we can be fully aware of the Father's goodness and great love for us. Ultimately, his grandest investment is his life. He invested in us because he believes that we are worth saving and loving. As Christians or as sons and daughters of God, we can be likened to the servants of the gospel today. The Lord knows us personally, what are our abilities, and what we are capable of. And I am the type of person who doesn't like to take risks. I want to always have an assurance in everything that I do. One of the things that I dreaded to do is going and talking in front of many people. Actually, when I was asked by my leader to be a hope giver, the first thought that came to mind was to immediately decline and say no. I was like that servant who immediately felt afraid because of the expectation brought by this kind of service. However, the Lord equips and enables those who thought they are unable. The Lord reminded me of His greatness and that He had given me abilities that I should cultivate, and He trusted me to use these abilities to share to others. The trust of Jesus Christ for us is like how He commissioned the 11 disciples in Matthew chapter 28, verses 18 to 20. As He said, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age. As we end this time of reflection, let us thank our greatest investor for never losing trust in us, for understanding and inviting us to partake of his happiness. And we also pray that we will never lose sight of God's goodness and faithfulness, and that we will never be afraid of investing in the kingdom of heaven. If you had been blessed by this short reflection, please like and share Pathways of Hope with your friends and families. Thank you and have a great day.